tonight's webinar. Maybe I will explain a little bit about Mr. Rasben's bio. So Mr. Rasben is a Vice Director for Academic and Cooperations Affairs of Untitled Bali. As you know, Untitled will be the main venue of ISIF 2022 offline competitions. And Mr. Rasben, accompanied with Mr. Denny Irawan as a president of IYSA, will explain about ISIF 2022. So if you have questions about ISIF 2022, you can drop it in the comment box and ask it later after these explanations. Now, please welcome and give a big applause to Mr. Dr. Gede Rasben Dantes and Mr. Denny Irawan. For Mr. Rasben and Mr. Denny, time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much for the time and for the opportunity to explain about the International Science and Innovation Fair 2022 will be hosted by Universitas Pendidikan Ganesha. I'm so sorry I can't share my material or my presentation today. Maybe I can explain briefly about the Universitas Pendidikan Ganesha. Untitled is one of the state university in Indonesia. We call it LPTK, Lembaga Pendidikan dan Tenaga Kependidikan. It's a school for the teacher training, one from 12 LPTK in Indonesia. So Universitas Pendidikan Ganesha very ready, and thank you very much for the IYSA for the opportunity to give the opportunity and trust for the Universitas Pendidikan Ganesha to become host for the International Science and Innovation Fair 2022 will be held in first until 5 November 2022. So we are preparing a committee to provide the event. I hope the event will be run smoothly and successfully. And Universitas Pendidikan Ganesha right now we have 8 faculty and 1 postgraduate program. We have a faculty of vocational and engineering. We have a faculty of natural science and mathematics. We also have faculty of educational science. We have faculty of law and social science, faculty of economic, faculty of art and language, and faculty of sport and health science. And the last faculty we have just established in 2018 is a faculty of medical. And we also have a 1 postgraduate program in Universitas Pendidikan Ganesha. Right now we are maintaining around 79 study program with 17,000 students we have in Universitas Pendidikan Ganesha. I hope our students also participate in the International Science and Innovation Fair. And for a few years ago, we also joined the International Science and Innovation Fair in some city. And also we also send our students to overseas to join the competition. I hope this competition will be give the insight, give the knowledge for all the students in Indonesia, and hopefully the student will have increase their knowledge and also experience, especially in the research and innovation. And thank you very much on behalf of our rector, Universitas Pendidikan Ganesha, once again. Thank you very much for the opportunity and for the trust for give this opportunity to Universitas Pendidikan Ganesha to become host for the International Science and Innovation Fair 2022. We are ready to conduct the program, and welcome to Universitas Pendidikan Ganesha. And we are waiting for all of you in Universitas Pendidikan Ganesha. Thank you very much, Ayu. Hello, Ayu. I hand over to you. Hello. Yeah, thank you very much, Ayu. Maybe I hand over to you again.
Thank you so much. Then for the brief information about Universitas Pendidikan Ganesha Bali. Hello, can you hear my voice, Mr. Rasben?
Kampus berkualitas, fasilitas lengkap dengan biaya terjangkau, serta lingkungan belajar yang nyaman menjadi impian kita semua. Jika kamu adalah salah satunya, Universitas Pendidikan Ganesha adalah yang kamu cari. Saat perubahan begitu cepat dan menjadi keharusan, Undiksa memastikan kita berubah ke arah yang lebih baik. Proses panjang pendirian lembaga mematangkan Undiksa untuk merespon berbagai tantangan dan peluang saat ini dan masa depan.
Dunia sedang mengalami kondisi yang serba tidak menentu, yang disebut dengan disruption teknologi. Nah, bagaimana kita perguruan tinggi untuk bisa mengatasi itu? Kita harus berlari cepat, kalau bisa berlompat. Syukur, alhamdulillah, Asengkara Undiksa memiliki suatu visi yang luar biasa. Yang mana visi Undiksa adalah untuk menjadi universitas unggul berlandaskan falsafah Tri Tekerana di Asia. Falsafah Tri Tekerana inilah yang membingkai semua aktivitas yang terjadi di Undiksa. Dengan falsafah Tri Tekerana ini, Undiksa selalu berkomitmen untuk mencetak sumber daya manusia yang unggul, adaptif, kompetitif, dan juga berkarakter Indonesia.
Untuk memastikan proses pembelajaran yang optimal, Undiksa menyediakan fasilitas dan gedung kuliah yang sangat memadai. Potensi dan minat setiap orang tentu berbeda-beda. Undiksa siap mewadahi perbedaan itu dan mengembangkan potensimu. Undiksa memiliki 8 fakultas dan program pascasarjana yang terdiri atas 65 program studi. Mulai dari jenjang diploma 3 hingga S3 yang bisa kamu pilih sesuai minat dan cita-cita kamu.
Meski berat untuk wujudkan semua cita, yakinlah bersama kita bisa. Kuat dan tangguh, berkarakter serta berbudaya, kita adalah Undiksa, jayalah selamanya. Menjadi universitas unggul berlandaskan falsafah Tri Tekerana di Asia tahun 2045. Astungkara bersama kita wujudkan semua.
harus selalu ditinjau dan disesuaikan untuk menyiapkan lulusan yang kompeten. Dengan demikian, lulusan Undixa akan lebih kompetitif dalam menghadapi persaingan dunia kerja. Menghasilkan ratusan penelitian setiap tahunnya, membuktikan bahwa kehadiran Undixa memiliki dampak yang luas, bukan hanya sivitas kampus, melainkan juga masyarakat luas.
Untuk wujudkan semua cita, yakinlah bersama kita bisa.
Penyelenggaraan berbagai kerjasama dengan lembaga di dalam negeri maupun luar negeri menjadikan Undixa sebagai universitas unggul di Asia.
Jayalah selamanya.
Kesuksesan proses belajar dan mempersiapkan masa depan di Undixa telah terbukti. Banyak alumni yang telah sukses di bidangnya masing-masing, baik sebagai pendidik, tenaga ahli, profesional, wirausahawan, dan berbagai profesi lainnya.
2004
Jadi, tunggu apa lagi? Mari menjadi bagian dari kampus berkualitas.
bersama kita wujudkan Asungkara. Bersama kita wujudkan
Masa depan tidak menunggu. Siapkan masa depanmu, raih kesempatanmu, jadi hebat bersama Undixa.
Ayo kuliah di Undixa.
Okay, I'm so sorry about the trouble connections in my area. So maybe once again, I would like to say first, thank you to Ms. Rasben for coming in tonight's webinar, and would like to explain to us briefly about ISIF 2022 competitions and also a little bit information about Universitas Pendidikan Ganesha, Bali, who will be the main venue of ISIF 2022. Yeah, so after we already heard about ISIF 2022 and also watching the promotion video of Universitas Pendidikan Ganesha, Bali, I hope all the participants has understood enough about this event and encourage more to join in ISIF 2022. Now, before we continue to Q&A sessions, I would like to remind to all the participants about the regulations of Q&A sessions. First of all, you can drop your questions in chat room with the format name _institutions_questions, and the questions will be sorted out by MC, and I will open the first two questions from participants. So if you guys have questions about ISIF 2022, about the main venue or any kind of regulation or maybe mechanism according to ISIF 2022, you can ask and drop your questions in the chat box. Okay. While we're waiting for the questions, maybe I would like to greet Mr. Dini Irawan, who also, can you hear my voice?
Yeah, okay, Ayu. Okay, Ayu, can you hear my voice?
Yes, of course, Mr. Dini.
Yeah.
So, can you maybe a little bit explain more about ISIF 2022 and what's so special about this event?
Okay, thank you, Ayu. Yeah, okay. First of all, I would like to say thank you so much to all the participants who already attended to this program, meet and greet, and also a webinar with the great speakers, Mrs. Edyta from Poland, and also Mr. Raman from India. Okay, on behalf of Indonesian Young Scientists Association, we would like to say thank you so much to Bapak Dr. Rasben, who already attended this program. Thank you so much for your great speech to introduce to all of us about the Campus Pendidikan Ganesha. Thank you so much. Actually, ISIF, International Science and Invention Fair, is the biggest event of IYSA biggest event, and also the first event that we already conducted since 2019, before the pandemic situations. And also at the first, we conducted in Bali as well, in Denpasar. More than 12 countries attended to this event, and full offline because before the pandemic situation. But in 2020 and 2021, the event full online because we already know that pandemic situation already increased. So we conducted this event full online. Although online, but we received many teams from around the world. For example, in ISIF 2020, we received almost 400 teams from 35 countries who participate in ISIF 2020. And also in 2021, the participants become increasing. 36 countries joined to this event. And now, for your information, for ISIF 2022, we plan to provide to platform offline and online or hybrid competitions, and we in collaboration with Universitas Pendidikan Ganesha Bali in Buleleng. Also, until now, we already received more than 300 teams from 32 countries. It's very, I think it's very high numbers, right? It means that ISIF already have a brand to the and trust to the all participants, Indonesia and also around the world. We prove that until now, before I think 2 days left, right? 2 days left before the registration session. Maybe 2 days again, the registration will be closed. Yeah, so we already received more than 300 from 32 countries who will participate to this event. And also in this occasion, I would like to inform you that from 300 participants, or sorry, teams, 100 teams will participate in offline competition in University of Untitled. Yeah. So maybe the number will be increasing until the registration is closed. Okay. Maybe that's all the information that I can inform to all the audience here. Once again, thank you so much for your attending to this program. I hope you can enjoy and you can get some information that you need for the ISIF events. If there is something that you would like to say, don't hesitate to ask the MC maybe, or you can write in the chat room. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Denny Rawat, about the explanation. Maybe a little informations that ISIF still open registration, right, Pak Denny? It's still 2 days to go before the deadline of registrations?
Yes, all right. Yeah, until 12 October. 12 October, the deadlines. So it's for you. Yes, yeah. Yeah, for you guys who didn't want to participate, we welcome to you to register. Then after that, the committee will select the best abstract or extended abstract for, and after that, you will receive the letter of acceptance and invoice. So that it means that you can participate to this event.
Okay, wonderful. So it's not too late for all the participants who wants to join ISIF. There is still 2 days left before the deadline of registration. So make sure you have submitted your proposals or your research to ISIF 2022. Now we're still waiting for the questions. You can ask in English or maybe in Indonesia. It's all up to you. We can ask the questions in Indonesia. If you are hard to speak in English, it's okay. Maybe the most frequently asked questions in our, especially in our Instagram page, is maybe about the document requirements. How about the document requirements? Are the participants need to prepare about only extended abstract, or have to prepare about poster too, or maybe another document requirements, Mr. Denny?
Yeah. The participant who will join ISIF, yeah, they for offline and online, I think it's the same rules. The different in offline, they should be brings the poster, the scientific poster for the presentation in front of the judges. But in for offline, sorry, for online, they just send or upload the extended abstract. That for offline, besides extended abstract, they also must bring the poster when the judging session. Yeah. Because the judge will come to the booth and make an evaluation or assessment to all the participants.
Okay, so
okay, the one for the online, they have to present their project in front of the judge by using the Zoom application and use the PowerPoint. Yeah, sorry, I forgot.
Okay, maybe I'll explain this in Indonesia also. Jadi untuk dokumen requirements-nya itu untuk yang online itu hanya extended abstract ya Pak Dini ya, untuk pendaftaran online. Tapi nanti untuk sesi judging session-nya itu membutuhkan PPT ya atau presentations, dan juga harus punya aplikasi Zoom. Betul ya Pak Dini ya?
Ya, betul.
Oke, dan untuk offline competition sekarang memang kita ada booth setup-nya. Jadi untuk seluruh peserta bisa membawa poster, lalu juga mungkin kalau ada prototype-nya bisa dibawa prototype-nya, dan dekorasi-dekorasi biasanya peserta kita unik kreatif banget ya, bisa bawa dekorasi mungkin poster atau banner mungkin atau apapun itu boleh ya Pak Denny ya untuk booth setup-nya.
Ya, it's okay, boleh.
Okay, so and then actually this is the random questions that comes in my mind. When you held the first ISIF in 2019 before the pandemic, why you choose Bali in the first place? I know there are a lot of beautiful cities around Indonesia, but why you choose Bali, Pak Denny?
Okay, thank you, Ayu. Yeah, why we choose Bali as the venue of ISIF 2019? Because we know that Bali is the famous island in Indonesia. So many tourists came to Bali for the wonderful panoramas. So many beach, the beautiful beach, and also many places that we can found in Bali as well. And also in Bali, we know that so many schools in Bali so are very active in research fields. So I think it's the good opportunities to us to conduct ISIF the first time in Bali. Okay. And also we have any partnership with I forget the name, because they very help us to make this event successfully. Yeah, I think it is the reason why we conducted ISIF 2019 in Bali.
Okay, so that's the reasons why we conduct from 2019 until 2022 yeah, in Bali. But maybe in a different area, right? Before it was in Denpasar, now we are conducted in another city, right, Pak Denny?
Yeah, right. Because now we collaborate or cooperate with Untitled University and place in Buleleng. Maybe we know it's far away from Denpasar, right? Maybe need 2 until 3 hours from airport to campus. That's why the committee provides the pickup from arrival and also depart 31 October and also as the depart 6 November. So we try to provide the good services to all the participants who will come to Bali.
Okay, wonderful. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you so much,
Okay.
Mr. Din.
Okay. So wait a moment. I will welcome to Mr. Raman. Hello, Mr. Raman. How are you?
Thank you so much, Mr. Denny. I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you so much for your coming here. Okay.
Our pleasure always. Myself and Ms. Edyta are with you always, and IBS Global will always support IYSA in all activities.
Thank you so much, and I hope IYSA also can support the IBS on your institution.
Always,
I'm sorry, and I'm
you.
so sorry. Until now, we can meet face to face because
fine. No, we met in 2018 in Bandung. We met face to face in Bandung 2018.
Oh yeah. I forgot. Sorry, yeah. It's the first time. We met. Yeah,
in Bandung.
Yeah, in Bandung. Hope
so,
anytime
it was good
we
experience.
Can. Yeah,
it was in 2018 March in Innova meeting. We met together. So that was the first experience. It was good.
Yeah, thank you so much. Hello, Miss Edyta. How are you?
Hello, Mr. Denny. How are you? I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Great. We would be happy to see you again, live, not only online.
Yeah.
maybe in Goa.
yeah. Maybe in Goa. Hopefully.
In Goa. Hopefully. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for all of you to come to our programs, and I hope you can share your knowledge, your information, and another that the participant needed. Thank you so much, Mr. Raman and Ms. Edyta.
Our pleasure, Mr. Denny. Thank you. And we invite all of your members from IYSA to INEX in Goa. So in November. So hopefully we'll be able to have some people there.
Okay, sure. So you can promote your event here, and MC, you can help Mr. Raman and Ms. Edyta to introduce their events in Goa, India, maybe INEX, and also maybe that other event that IBS conduct. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Time is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Personally, I have some problem with the surrounding because it's quite noisy. Some reconstruction works happening here. So I'll give the voice to Raman, okay, and I'll take care of the sharing my screen, and I think it'll be better.
Okay, it's okay, no problem.
Okay.
Sure. So we can start whenever the team is ready. Mrs. Edyta shared the presentation to the team member. So if they can start presenting, I would like to continue.
Okay, do you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes, Mrs. Edyta. We can see your screen.
All right.
Great. Very good. So first of all, welcome to all the participants, and very warm regards to the team of IYSA for organizing this event. It is very important for us to organize these events and actually connect with innovators from time to time, because communication is the key. And also innovation is a continuous process. It cannot be just one event in a year. And I'm very proud that IYSA is organizing many events in the year. IYSA and Mr. Denny are working hard. So they almost organize one event every month. So that's a great initiative by them, and I sincerely congratulate them. Now, what we as a company, as IBS do, is that myself, the CTO of IBS Global, I'm Raman Teja, and my partner, the CEO of IBS Global, Mrs. Edyta Wolczyk. What we do is we help people in their journey of innovation. We make them make their innovations come to life in prototyping, in guidance, in consultation. Not just this, we provide international platforms for all the innovators like INEX, India International Innovation and Invention Expo, like Innovate International Innovation in Poland. So we organize these platforms like GYSC, Global Young Scientist Challenge, and help the innovators connect with the global community of stakeholders. In this training, we are going to talk about design thinking for young innovators, because I see that there are amazing young innovators in the crowd and they want to do something amazing, but then they don't know where to start, what is the process. So that this whole session is going to be about the process. Just a small bit about what IBS Global does. So in IBS Global, we do the IT training and consultation part. We do the international conferences and international innovation invention expos. We are the organizers. We also do dedicated trade missions. For example, if you are an innovator, you want to look for market outside your country, you want us to help, we will be very happy to help. We also do global business development consultancy. For example, if you have a product, not just about marketing, it's also about various things like understanding your customers, understanding the needs, what is the price point. We guide you in detail in different geographies. We also do skill enhancement trainings. For example, like this session, we like to share our knowledge with the community of innovators across the globe and make them enhanced in whatever field of study they are working on right now. So without further ado, let us quickly go to the session. So what are we going to learn in this session? We'll be learning in simple, what is design thinking and why do we do it? And after knowing these two things, how do you do it? And we'll take a very impactful, amazing case study and we'll just finish the session. So we believe in short and sweet sessions. We don't like take very long sessions. So it's going to be hardly 15 to 20 minute session, and then we'll have 10 minutes for question and answers. So you can ask me any questions, you can type it to me. Me or Mrs. Edyta will answer all those questions for you guys. So everyone is talking these days about design thinking. Like, what is design thinking? How do we approach design thinking? And is it about thinking or is it about design? So let us understand what it is. And also let us understand what it is not. Actually, it's very important for us to understand what it is not, than along with understanding what it is. So we move to the next slide. So anyone, any innovator, any inventor, any person who is actually working on an innovative idea, he can call himself a designer because he's doing something, he's designing something. So what do we consider design in design thinking is that it is about the design in the most generic form. What is the most basic form of design? So when I say design, it's about how you interact with things. Now, this is a very simple explanation of design thinking. What is it? It is a method of focusing innovation on people and designing based on what people need and want, what people like or dislike. With regard to production, packaging, marketing, retailing, support, can be anything. So in simple line, we at IBS Global, we believe that you have to always sell what they want than sell what you have. That is the core of design thinking. Now, most people get confused by visual design. They think that, okay, it's the colors, it's the font, it's the text, that is the design, but that's not design thinking. So design thinking is more system level. This famous person on the screen, everyone knows him. He's Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple. So in his own words, what he said about design is that design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design it how it works. How is the system designed? How is it interacting with the people? People are the most important aspect of design thinking. The users are the more important aspect of design thinking. So before we get technical about design thinking, I would like to give an everyday example. So if you see properly, everything that works seamlessly in our life around us has a concept of design thinking inculcated in it. So if you just see the dining table, the arrangements of spoons and forks, usually how it does is that the utensils are placed in the order of use. So what happens is that when you go to eat the first part of the meal, you to choose the forks that are on the outside. and then you slowly work your way inside. So forks go on the left, knives are on the right, spoons on the right. So if you say why on the left, why on the right, it is because most people are right-handed. So 80 to 90% of the people in the world are right-handed. That's why the spoons and knives are on the right side. So that is the reason they use the design thinking here. So that's how we do it. And before we actually see the steps involved in design thinking is a user-centered approach to problem solving. So if someone comes to me and says, I'm an innovator, I'm an inventor, why should I do design thinking? Because design thinking is all about problem solving. As an innovator, you're solving a problem or you're making a process better. So without design thinking, your journey becomes very unorganized. So what I'm trying to say is that to have an organized innovation, you should go for design thinking. Now, if someone comes to you and says, okay, this I understand what is happening, but how do I do it? How do I actually follow a process, right? So let us quickly understand the key cornerstones, the four cornerstones, like the four pillars of design thinking. One, it is people-centered. So when I say people-centered, the user is the most important part of design thinking process. And two, it is hands-on. So design thinking approach involves practically doing some prototyping, modeling, ideation, discussion. All these things are hands-on. Next, it is highly creative. So what you do is that you come up with new solutions. You're not trying to make the solution with existing options. And integrative thinking is the key. When I say integrative thinking, you're starting with the problem, you're starting with the user, you're trying to bridge the gap between the problem and the user. Without this integrative thinking, it does not work. And iterative. When I say iterative, you're doing the process again and again. So in the first stage, you're getting a feedback. Based on the feedback, you're correcting the process. So that's iterative by definition. So that is design thinking. That is the key elements of design thinking. Next, of course, everyone knows Google. So Google created a popular design sprint. So this is also one way for design thinking. So what they do is that they create an idea, they build a prototype, they launch and they learn. After they launch and they learn, what they do is that they iterate from the idea and learning in terms of feedback loop. So this we will see practically how people achieve it. So to all the innovators out there, I see that when myself and Mrs. Edyta, when we are mentoring our clients or innovators across the globe, when we are judging innovations, what the innovators come up with most important stuff is that in the initial stages of innovation, they have a very haphazard way of organizing stuff. So they have many things coming together and it's very haphazard way. So they are not having clarity. But what happens is that research stage is always haphazard. Research stage is always too many things. When you make a concept, when you prototype, it starts evening out. And when you do the design, the process becomes smooth. So that is the key. So you go from research to prototype to design. So that's how you clear all the issues. And now we know what is design thinking. Now we also know why is design thinking. But let us see how do we apply design thinking. So do you know when it is useful? So some innovator can come to us and say, okay, I have a problem. I want to buy a house. Can I apply design thinking? Someone says, I want to invest in stock market. Can I apply design thinking? Someone comes to us and says, hello, I want to make a new attachment for my car that will actually make the fuel indication visible outside the car also. Can I use design thinking? The idea is design thinking is not applicable in all cases. Let us see where it is applicable. So ideally, design thinking is good for wicked problems. So when I say wicked problem, what does it mean? It means a problem that is not well defined. So you know that there is a problem, but you don't know the definition of the problem. So you need a lot of research, a lot of innovative research to do in this case. That is when design thinking comes in handy. It is also good for feasibility. For example, like, you want to make a new technology, all that stuff is very easy with this design thing. when is it not applicable? Let us also see when it is not applicable. For example, if you take about accounting, if you talk about investments, if you talk about administration, in those cases, design thinking may not be useful. Of course, it can be useful in some extent, but it is usually not finding good use cases in those areas. Let us go to the next topic. So what is exactly design thinking in one slide, right? So here you're talking, you as an innovator, you're also talking about the customer, you're talking about the money, you're talking about the possibility. So what is a customer? Customer is nothing but people or desirability. Money is nothing but business or viability. Possibility is nothing but technology or feasibility. So when you're doing an innovation, you should have someone who is willing to use it. They should find it valuable so that they exchange their money in return for your innovation. So if no one is willing to give their money for your innovation, the innovation is not so viable technically as a business, right? Third thing, even if someone is able to pay money for this innovation, is it feasible to actually build it technically? So that is the technical aspect. So the innovation lies in merging these three spheres. Unless you merge these three spheres, unless you get into that zone, you will never be able to innovate. So let us quickly see the design thinking process. So we have already learned what is design thinking, why is design thinking, when is it useful. Now we will learn how it is done. So there are two very popular approaches. Of course, there is another approach called double diamond method, which we are not discussing here. There is another approach called creative thinking method, which we are not discussing here. But let us say there are like 5 to 10 different approaches. But here we are talking about the two most widely used approaches across the globe. One is the no one size fits all approach. So what it means is that they have a 5-step process. In this 5-step process, this is essentially developed by Stanford Design School. So the Stanford Design School came to this process. In this process, they have 5 stages, and we will discuss this process in detail in the upcoming slides. But then this is one very popular process. And then the human-centered design process is the second process. In human-centered design, there are 3 stages. So whether it is a 5-stage process or a 3-stage process, the core idea of design thinking is the same. So now let us see what is the no one size fits all process. So like I told, like the name suggests, this process has 5 stages. What is it? The first stage is empathize. When I say empathize, what it means is that you should understand the user. Of course, we will discuss about each things in the upcoming slide, but I'll just quickly brief on what this is. The second stage is the define stage, where you're writing down the details of the problem. Third stage is the ideation stage. This is where you write down the possible solutions, how to creatively solve them. Fourth stage is the prototyping stage. So this is where you actually make stuff. You make stuff and you try to understand how it is. Fifth stage is the test stage. When I say test, you're actually putting this product or innovation in the environment where it is supposed to be used, and you're getting the feedback. Now let us go to each stage step by step. So the first one, empathize. Like I told you, when I say empathize, it is about the people. So what are the most important aspects of empathizing? You have to first observe. What do you observe? You observe the user behavior. How does this product affect them? Second one, you engage. What do? You try to collect data from the user. You try to you give them questions, you ask them to do the survey, you see how they're interacting with this environment. Listen. So when I say listen, what you should do is that instead of coming up with opinions yourself, you should try to see what the customer is facing a problem, because for you it's a product, but for the customer it's an experience. So without listening what he actually wants, we won't be able to come up with a precise solution. Now the second stage, define stage. So how do you define a problem? Here also there are 3 major insights. So one is that what is the user? So you should understand how to develop an understanding about the type of person. So for example, is your product, is your innovation for aged people? Is it for young children? Is it for mothers? Is it for patients? Is it for teachers? Is it for students? That you should understand your user. Second, what is the need? So you have to feel the sympathy. Okay, so you put yourself in this person's shoes. How is it important? Is it emotionally important? Is it commercially important? How does it affect their everyday life? Third one is the insight. So in this stage, what you should do is that you should actually define, after listening to all this conversation from the user, you should write on a piece of paper. How does this problem observe? How does it seem to you? Is it an emotional problem, physical problem, financial problem, technical problem? Now the next stage, ideation stage. So this is one of the most hands-on stage and most practically important stage. So you have a lot of ideas or a lot of data collected right now. So in ideation stage, you're actually going to put the data in an organized fashion. You're going to combine the conventional and unconventional methods. You're going to have a group discussion. You're going to do the group synergy, building upon ideas. You're going to evaluate your ideas. After this, we go to the prototyping stage. Here, what happens is that you start building. When you say building, it can be as simple as a model out of a paper. It can be as simple as a model that is 3D printed. And then you start a storyboard. So storyboarding is one of the most important parts. So storyboarding comes into place wherein you're writing the storyboard where the life cycle of the product is described. For example, a person is interacting with the product. He is achieving this by using this product. So this innovation is actually helping him achieve this. And after that, he's going to this stage. So that is called the life cycle. So even if you Google about storyboarding, you will get all this information. So that is the process and prototype. Next comes the test stage. So what is the test stage? So the test stage is that here you completed 4 stages. In those 4 stages, what you're trying to do is gather, define, ideate, kind of sort all these ideas. Now what you should do, go to the user, show him this, show him that, see, this is what I understood about your problem. Is it what in reality, or should I change? After that, what you should do is create experiences. So you have to make the people feel this product or service. And if you see in the first slide, we put an arrow mark. So the first stage and the 5th stage have an arrow mark. So the arrow means that after testing, you should again go back to this process if needed. So it's an iterative process. So if you do these 5 stages, you are ready to be a design thinker yourself. Now, no session is complete without a practical example, right? So we are 20 minutes into the session. We have approximately 10 more minutes. So we'll just quickly go through one case study, right? So there is this amazing company in Ghana. Of course, you know Ghana, right? West Africa. It's a country in West Africa. There's this amazing company in Ghana who tried to solve the sanitation problem. Of course, all of you know that sanitization is one of the United Nations goals, like SDG, one of those goals, Sustainable Development Goals. Out of this 17, it is a very important aspect. So these people actually tried to solve that problem, but they had a very big issue. One issue is that they didn't have money in terms of customers, right? So the customers in Ghana who wanted toilets built, they didn't have that kind of money to invest. So how do you do? How do you achieve this problem? How do you achieve the solution for providing a clean toilet for these people? So what they did was they gave this toilet as a service. So they constructed portable toilets, and these people are installing these toilets in people's homes, which is very portable. And for up to 5 people, they are charging a monthly fee of approximately $7 to $8. So $7 to $8 is the fee for a toilet for a home with 5 people. And they do the cleaning weekly. They also have cleaning 2 times a week. If you see this in context, many people in Ghana, many towns and cities, they don't have their toilets of their own. So they use public toilets, which have queues, which are expensive. So those public toilets are costing the Ghana people around $15. And what this toilet, private toilet at your home as a service where you don't have to clean, it is costing you $7 to $8 for the service charge. And the most important part, this toilet does not need electricity. It does not need water. It does not need cleaning. It works completely on its own. So there is no water problem. There is no electricity problem. There is no cleaning problem. So this is the innovation they did through design thinking. So IDEO Labs helped this company do the design thinking. What they did was they went to the people, they understood the problem, they created a solution, they innovatively packaged that solution, they tested out different toilet models. So if you see, all the 5 stages of design thinking are covered in this aspect. So when I say design thinking, this is what we mean. So what I mean, what Mrs. Edyta means, what IBS Global actually advocates across the globe is that design thinking is something that will make the innovations more approachable for the people. So with this, we finish the case study. So we have 8 more minutes for the session. In these 8 minutes, if you choose to ask, you can ask us any questions. If you have any doubts, you can please ask us. We will clarify. Also, while we clarify, please go to this. We can also talk about INEX while we clarify. So, like, you can get all the details about INEX. I think we can go to the next slide, Eddie. We can just be in the next slide. We can clarify to you everything about INEX. And you can please ask our doubts also. We'll be more than happy to answer your questions. If you have myself, Mrs. Edyta, we both will be happy to answer your questions. We have like 7 more minutes, so it's people can type, or the MC, Miss Ayu, can actually collect the questions and share it with us, and we will be able to clarify. Okay, we have a question from Dafa.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. Dafa, Mr. Dafa. Hello, my name is Dafa. Sorry, I can't be on mic. I have a question. I should say the design thinking based on what people need and want, but how do we find a real or big issue or problem around this? How we can know that our innovation will be useful for a lot of people or just a few? Amazing question, Mr. Dafa. So I have an answer for this. So what we are trying to do here is that we suggest all our innovators to actually work on ideas that matter to them. For example, if you're trying to be an innovator and trying to have a problem, work on a problem that you personally feel. For example, if you are getting late to school or office every day and you want to do something about it, that's your personal problem, and you're sure that there are millions of people who are suffering from the same issue, so you can work on it. If you are working on a problem like nutrition, for example, you want healthy food and you're not able to get healthy food outside while you're working, that is a personal problem, but there are millions of people who would like to have this solution for this problem. So you should first work on problems that personally matter to you. If you do not have that personal experience, or if you do not have that personal connection with the problem, it is not easy to do the design thinking. But when you become a professional design thinker, when you're helping a lot of people, you will actually understand that this process can be inculcated easily. But in the initial stages of your innovation or initial stages of your design thinking, please work on problems that are actually mattering to you. So I hope I answered Mr. Krishna Dafa. Anyone else?
Yes. Maybe we can open the Q&A sessions to all the participants. You can drop your questions with the name _ institutions and _ questions. Maybe for Mr. Krishna, are the answers is quite clear, or you still have another questions?
And while you think about the questions, yeah, okay, I have sec. Do we always have to consider business aspect? See, the idea is that if an innovation has to sustain in the market, or it has to sustain in the long run, it has to have a business aspect. Otherwise, what happens is that if there is no money involved in the innovation, people cannot support it all the time. So we really suggest, even though it doesn't have to be profit oriented, but it has to be business oriented. So there are two different things. When we say business, it means it should be self-sustaining. It doesn't always have to be profit. You don't have to make millions of rupees from your innovation, but make sure that there is money involved, or it has the potential to self-sustain. So that is important. And while we are going through the session, you can also read on the screen about INEX, and you can actually contact Mr. Denny. You can contact IYSA team. They will guide you for Indonesia, all participants from Indonesia. Myself and Mrs. Edyta, we are more than happy to answer your questions. Thank you, Mr. Krishna. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, if anyone else have questions regarding Mr. Raman presentations, you can drop your questions in the chat box.
And we have 2 more minutes for this, so no problem. We can just proceed.
Okay. Maybe we can proceed to the next slide if you still have the next.
We just have contact information.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So they can just contact us through IYSA. So that's it.
Can I know when is the event will be conducted?
The event will be conducted from in November 15 to 20th in Goa, in Ravindra Bhavan, in Margoa city. So all the information is available on inexindia.com, the website. And Mrs. Edyta has personally sent invitation to IYSA. So Mr. Denny has all the information. If required, we can also share the information to all the participants once again.
And it will be held in hybrid mode, so on site during 15 to 20 of November in Goa and Margao. But after the event, we organize this judging session for online. Like all participants who want to join for online and are not able to come personally, they are also of course, mostly welcome.
Yes.
But we really hope to see you personally, because
exactly.
I know that we all just got used to online events, but it's also nice to meet each other personally and talk.
So I think the time is up. So if anyone has no questions, we can just go to the valedictory ceremony. I think there's the last 10 minutes for the session, so we can just go for the valedictory ceremony if the time is up.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Raman Teja, for tonight's explanations and also webinar about how to do design thinking, especially for us.
My pleasure. My pleasure. And IBS Global will always support IYSA. Myself and Mrs. Edyta are always available. So please let us know if you have anything else in the future. We will be more than happy to support all the activities and events, and hope to see you all in INEX. And innovate also.
Of course, yeah. To all the participants, don't forget to join in INEX 2022 that will be conducted in November 2, same as ISIF 2022. Thank you so much, Mr. Raman Teja, and also Mrs. Edyta. I'm so sorry that I haven't introduced in the beginning of the webinar, because I thought I will introduce you first, then you start the webinar, but maybe we have miscommunications, but it's okay. Maybe to all the participants, I will explain a little bit about our guest speaker who has explained to you guys about design thinking. We have Mr. Raman Teja as a CEO and co-founder of Alternative Technologies from India, and also Mrs. Edyta Wolczyk as a CEO or Chief Executive Officer of IBS Global Company from Poland. Thank you so much once again for coming into our event, and I hope we can see other opportunities in the future.
We also thank you so much. It was a really great pleasure, and we are always there for you. So if you need us, just please contact us any day.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Maybe I will open one questions again from the participants. Sure. If you want to drop any questions regarding tonight's webinar, you can drop your questions.
And they can also share the questions later on email, and I mean, probably they can send to the organizer, and we can collect like 5 to 10 questions, and we can just talk about them at once. No problem. So knowledge is always continuous. So they can always approach us. We are happy to answer any question. No problem.
Okay, so everyone can freely ask to both Mr. Raman and Mrs. Edyta about all the questions regarding tonight's topics through maybe email or maybe to us to the committee. Okay.
Okay. So once again, thank you so much, Mr. Denny, for this opportunity.
Anytime, Mr. Raman. Thank you so much for
Our pleasure.
Edyta. Hope we can meet in Sudan.
Hopefully.
Okay. Thank you for your good speaker, good, and also already given us the best knowledge, best experience. And on behalf, I will say, we invite all of you to participate in INEX in India.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, this month. You can contact Ms. Edyta and also Ms. Raman directly or by OSA. Feel free.
The best way is to contact Mr. Denny. He's our partner from Indonesia.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. We are still open registration for INEX for the participants who want to join this event.
Yes.
You can register to our official website in OSA. Thank you so much, Mr. Raman and Ms. Edyta, for your time.
Our pleasure, Mr. Denny. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Bye. See you all. Bye. Thank you, Mrs. Ayu. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Take care, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you much.
So much. Yeah. Maybe if there is no one want to ask questions, maybe I want to conclude about tonight's topic about design innovations. That we all know that design thinking is a known linear iterative process that team used to understand users, challenge assumption, redefine problems, and also create innovation solutions. And Ms. Ramen have explained about there are 5 steps that you can do to do design thinking, which are empathize and also ideate, innovate, prototype, and also testing, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And also design thinking, it's one of the fundamental process that should be done before we did a research and should be done with all of the researcher. And we all know that design thinking isn't an easy process. It needs a hard work, practice, and experience specializing in this. So thank you so much, Mr. Ramen and Ms. Edyta, for explaining to us about the design thinking. And we can also access about the presentations in our YouTube streaming and our account in IYSA official. If you want to re-access again about the presentation of Mr. Raman Teja and Mrs. Edyta. So maybe that's the end of our webinar today. I would like to remind a little bit about our today's agenda, which is the meet and greet with International Science and Invention Fair 2022 by Mr. Rasben and Mr. Denny Irawan. And we all know that ISIF 2022 will be conducted both online and offline competitions in Universitas Pendidikan Ganesha, Bali, Indonesia. And also for deadline registrations are 2 days left. So don't forget to submit the proposal. Don't forget to join this year's ISIF 2022 because there are a lot of prizes that you can get, including cash prize, free registrations to IYSA international events, and also a golden ticket or fully funded to international IYSA event, including accommodations, hotel, registration, and etc. And also, of course, to all the participants, you can get an amazing experience in ISIF 2022. You can get new connections and new friends, and then you can elaborate your research. You can present your research in front of the judges and gain of constructive feedback from the judges. So don't forget to sign your team up. You can check all the informations in our Instagram page, IYSA official, or you can just um, access through our website in iysa.or.id for additional informations. And to all the participants, as I said before, that um, one of the main rules that you have to do if you want to get a certificate, you have to fill the registration link that I will attach right here. I've sent it the registration link. Please don't forget to fill the registration link if you want to get a certificate. And maybe that's all from me. Oh yeah, don't forget to, for all the teachers also, research teacher around the world, you can also join of our events, which are IRTC and NRTC. There will be international research teacher competitions for international participants, and also national research teacher competitions, or NRTC, which will be held in November too. So if you are the teacher, you can also join our event. Yeah. For further more information, you can contact us freely on our Instagram, our website, or maybe any kind of social media. We will open freely to all the questions. And also thank you so much to all the participants who has participated in tonight's webinar. I am sorry as a master of ceremony tonight if I have mistakes or misspoken names or another mistakes that I have done. I'm so sorry. And I hope we can see you soon on another event. So thank you so much. Good evening from Indonesia and see you in Bali. Thank you. Bye, guys. And to all the participants who have filled the registration link, you may leave the room. Thank you so much for attending.